What's up? What's up, witches? How we doing? How we doing? What's going on? What's up, Instagram? I feel so fancy whenever I have two devices going on. It feels very like professional, very you know, like a whole studio setup type of situation. Shout out to technology. What's up, y'all? Surprise, witches. I don't never come live on Instagram. And I'm probably not going to stay live on Instagram long. I'm going to keep it real with you because YouTube is like my place to be. So if you want to see the whole thing, you should head over to YouTube. But in case you don't know, every month on YouTube around the full moon, I do something called High Tea Live, where we get together and we burn herbs and we chill and we talk about topics of magic and spirituality. And I answer questions and all that good stuff. That is a Coven exclusive. So I usually post like clips of it on my YouTube for everybody to watch, but the full experience is just for my Coven witches. I like to do that because I don't like answering the same basic ass questions over and over again. And I have found that that's what happens if I go live. Just to the general public, it's a lot of like, how do I know I'm a witch? And, shit like that. No offense to folks who have questions like that. But I just feel like I've answered those types of questions a million times, and there's just so much information out there that you really don't need that from me. The witches that join the coven tend to be a little further along in their journeys and a little bit more serious in their personal pursuits of incorporating magic and witchcraft into their everyday lives, into who they are and what they are. And so the questions are more substantive and a lot more enjoyable for me to answer. So that's why High Tea is a Coven exclusive. So, but because I'm so exclusive, and I want to make sure folks who are not a part of the Coven still get the opportunity to chill, get to know the other witches in the community, ask me questions and things like that, I will pop on for surprise lives from time to time. And that's what I'm doing tonight. And I realized that Instagram probably has no idea that that's even happening. So I wanted to come on for a second and let you guys know that that happened. So if you don't already subscribe to my YouTube channel, Beyond BronxWitch, you definitely should. And hang out over there, turn on your notifications so you know when I'm live and all that good stuff. So, yes. What's up? What's up, witches? Hello. What's going on? Hey, from Jersey. What am I doing up so late? What you doing up so late? Okay, this is the witching hour. What about you? What are you doing? Monday is my moon day. It's my one day that I take for myself. I do my best not to answer any emails, do any work for the shop, respond to clients, none of that. I get the groceries, I clean the house, I do a little cooking usually for the week. I sleep in late and just generally relax. Hi, Amanda. And take care of myself and chill out. But because I get so much rest in the beginning of the day, I do tend to stay up kind of late on Monday nights because of that. So I'm just up. I got a new Oracle deck that came into the shop. I promise when you guys leave donations of books and decks in the shop, I don't just bring them all home. But every once in a while, something comes into the shop that really feels like it's calling to me specifically. So I got this Angels, Gods, and Goddesses deck. Shout out to the fantastic witch that donated it, with a couple of other decks that are beautiful. Those are still in the shop. But this one came home with me. I don't know that I'm going to keep it. I just felt really called to spend a little more time with it. There is a type of reading that I offer that is not on my menu, like on my rates list. It's a private type of reading that I only offer to certain people and when I feel called, and it's an ancestral channeling type of reading. And something told me that I might be getting called to offer that service publicly. which is basically what happened to me last year with my spirit guide reading. It was something that I didn't offer publicly, and then spirit was like, no, now's the time to offer this to people who want it. So I kind of feel like that might be happening now with my ancestral channeling reading. And something about this deck really spoke to me as potentially being a useful tool for those readings. So I'm going to flip through it for my YouTube folks and show you guys this deck, and then you can tell me what you think about it. And perhaps I'll keep it. And if not, it will go back to the shop and it'll be available for folks. I also got a gift. Shout out to Liquid Life Art. Shout out to Luis Pagan, artist extraordinaire, and Santero, I believe, who made this for me. Check it out, you guys. Isn't that just so freaking me? Yes. Luis was a vendor at one of our last tea and tarot parties, and I had to have this. And he took it to make some additional touches, of course, to give it a purple background because, hello, it's for me. And finally dropped it off at the shop. So shout out to you, Luis. Thank you so, so much. This is going to go on the front door of my apartment, because I realized that the witch in the building needs to have something on her front door. And I used to change out wreaths for the season, cinnamon wreaths and hawthorn berry wreaths and all kinds of stuff like that. And then my building took everything off of our doors because they painted all of the doors in the building. Like they gave the building a paint job, which is nice. That was very much needed. But they took my wreaths down, okay, and did not give it to me. They just took it down. So there hasn't been anything on my door ever since, which is like kind of lame. And when Luis showed me this, I was like, "Oh, that's going on my door." And it was like a what you call it, like an ornament. It had like a hook, but I took the hook off, and I think I'm gonna attach like some command strips to the back so I can remove it from the door in the future if I want to. But then I'm gonna put it on the door. Isn't that neat? Not all witches are like so in your face about it, but y'all know me. I wear shirts that say Bronx Witch. I like wearing my own merch. I love wearing pentagrams. I have various tattoos and pieces of jewelry that just make it really clear. And I think it's the Leo aspect in me. I think Leos generally really enjoy expressing themselves outwardly and tend to wear clothing and jewelry and things like that that kind of show off what they believe in, what they're into, what they're interested in. We like concert tees and, you know, expressive art and things like that. So I think it's just my Leo side that really likes to make it really obvious that, like, I'm the witch around here. So this has to go on my door, doesn't it? Okay. It just has to. I also just like seeing how people respond to it because I get all kinds of responses, everything from laughter to like genuine fear, um, to mostly curiosity and a little bit of confusion. Um, oh, someone's asking about, and I can't pronounce your screen name, my love, but you said I'm planning on attending the sorcery event, and so you're going to be teaching. I'm excited to hear you. Yes, I haven't even started like posting about that because I was still making arrangements for exactly when I'm going to be presenting. But I think Elohim is working on accommodating my very limited availability that weekend, which I very, very, very much appreciate. And I'm planning on bringing a new class to the Our Sorcery Hour. If you don't know what we're talking about, Our Sorcery Hour is an online 2 day witchy convention. Several folks are going to be teaching classes. I'm really honored to be a part of this lineup. Maria Bamani is going to be there. Daphne La Hechicera is going to be there. So very, very honored to be asked to present. And I've been working on a new class all about the ethics of magical practice. It's a bonus class that I'm working on for my BetterWitch students who are in the spring semester right now. And obviously, we talk about divination, we talk about energy work, we talk about spell casting, of course, as a part of the semester long program. And one thing I wanted to add to that program is like a shorter lesson on the ethics of all of these practices, the ethics of tarot reading or divination in general, the ethics of spell casting, the ethics of energy healing. I think that's really important because of how popular these things have become. And folks are. Um, Dabbling and stepping into these practices and maybe not always doing it with the most integrity. I think, once people realize that they can potentially make money off of something, it immediately starts to um, distract people from the real reason why these practices are important. And people start to see them as an opportunity to make money. And I'm all for being able to support yourself. I'm all for having a following. I'm all for all of it. You know what I mean? And ain't no shame in nobody's game over here. I try to be very non-judgmental, but I do think that there's an ethical way to divine for people, do energy healing and cast magic for other people for money and whatever it else it is for personal gain of any kind. But I believe that there's a way to do it that is ethical and responsible. And I want to talk about that a little bit because I don't know that like I said at the beginning, I don't necessarily want to answer the same questions that everybody's answering. Just because I am not the type to really love hearing myself talk necessarily. And when I'm speaking, I like it to be for like a reason and add something to the conversation, not just be reiterating what you've heard a million times before. So, because I don't see a lot of which is really talking about the ethical concerns about practicing magic, especially for other people, I want to talk about that. So that's what I'm planning, and I'm working on the details of that class. And I believe that's going to be my presentation for the Our Sorcery Hour. So you should definitely check it out. You can follow Elohim at Our Sorcery Hour on Instagram. I believe tickets are already available. I think they're only $40 for the whole weekend, which is incredible. And a portion of all of the ticket sales are going to a charity. I believe want to say it's Doctors Without Borders. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that, but a percentage of all ticket sales are going to a really reputable charity. So super cool event. It's this month from the 25th to the 26th. I believe I'm going to be presenting on the 25th. All right. But anywho, yes. Um, Just going to take a look at a few more comments and then I'm going to get into my live over here on YouTube. Oh, thank you, Lucy. Thank you for being you. I've had people try to convert me. Yeah. Listen, I've had people like try to lay hands on me and pray for me within like seconds of meeting me. It's really weird and awkward when they do that. How do I personally stay connected and true to you, authentically and confidently calm throughout the day? Um, that is a journey. Staying calm and collected throughout the day. The thing that's helped me the most with that is meditation. Emotional calm and mental clarity is what meditation cultivates. And I have a class in the online portal called Intro to Meditation, where I talk about what meditation does. And then I introduce you to like 10 different types, forms of meditation that you can consider depending on which calls to you. Because most people think meditation is sitting cross legged and not thinking about anything for like hours at a time, and it's not. That's definitely the movies. There are many forms of meditation to consider, and finding the one that's right for you is really the key. But whatever form of meditation works for you, the goal is to develop emotional calm and mental clarity that lasts, not just when you're engaging in active meditation, but is a state of being that you're in at all times. And meditation has helped me to do that. So I would recommend that to you. Anna Coquette, you have a question. I think I'm going to take questions over here on YouTube. So you should definitely jump into the live right now over here, and I'll do my best because it sounds like I'm going to need some more guidance on that question. I don't want to get too distracted. It sounds like a good one. Um, but I'd love more information from you because I'm not sure what you mean when you say, when do you know you have got a practice or a ritual down and understand it? I think if I can give you some insight here and now, because this is probably something that answers a lot of people's questions about things. When you guys are worried about doing something right, I want you to let go of that. Okay. Because magic and spirituality are not about getting something right. That's a very dogmatic thing that religion teaches us. And so sometimes we have to step out of the religious box and realize that spirituality and magic are a completely different bag of chips. Religions are concerned with doing something right. Magic and spirituality is about results. So you know that you have gotten a ritual right when it works. That's it. What's your goal? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to call money into your life? Are you trying to bring more love into your life? Are you trying to connect with a particular energy like a goddess or an ancestor? Great. Did it work? Yes or no? If it didn't, then it's not right. And you've got to adjust and shift and change. If it accomplished what you were trying to accomplish, then it doesn't matter whether or not it matches what somebody else has done or what somebody else says. Um, Sorry, that was my battery. What somebody else says is good, bad, right, wrong. All right. So let go of right and look for results. And I think that will answer that question and many others. All right, Instagram, that's about all. That's all you get from me tonight. I'm going to get into my live with YouTube. Beyond BronxWitch is the channel. Link in bio. Come see me. Boom. Bye. All right, YouTube, it's just us now. Hey, how we doing? Well, I hope you guys can see me. It's telling me my internet connection's a little shaky. Can you guys see me and hear me and everything? You never charge for your readings, Mad Clips. I respect that very much. What I tell people is I don't charge either. I don't charge for the message. The message comes from spirit. And you actually don't need me to give you the message. It's just that your spirit guides, your ancestors are trying to give you the message and you don't speak their language. So that's why you have to go to a reader who does speak their language and can translate it for you. So the message is free because the message is coming from spirit. What you are paying me, though, for is my time. And my time is most definitely not free. Um, and that's a personal choice. I could give it away for free, and I do often. But my purpose and my calling is tied to um, pouring a certain amount of energy into people, and that energy needs to be compensated. And because we live in a capitalist society where money is valuable, then money is what I ask for. Um, but yeah, the messages are free. My time is what costs. You would love that reading, Amanda. Yeah, I the first time I ever debuted that reading, it was with my coven members for like a Samhain live. I went live for Samhain and did channeled ancestor messages, and I really loved it. But I tend to wait until spirit's given me like the okay to start offering something just like publicly forever, for whoever is interested. And I feel like that's happening with this, but we shall see. Okay, I'm just telling Instagram where to go. Because I realized, like, I literally never tell Instagram what is going on. Wait, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh. Oh, they just sneaked that in there. This is definitely supposed to have no ads. Oh, bitch. This internet is wild, crazy. Okay. Back to the vibes. Back to the vibes. All right. Okay. I'm all yours, YouTube. Thank you for letting me indulge Instagram a little bit, because I realize I never do. I literally never do. I just have such a love-hate relationship with Instagram, and so I think about it. I post a lot of reels over there because I find them fun to make. I enjoy like getting to be a little bit of a movie maker. So I do enjoy making reels. I do that quite a bit. Though I am taking a break for the next 3 days. You're not going to see anything from me on Instagram for the next 3 days because I just need a break from the IG world and from caring honestly about like reels. You get into this place where like you post stuff and you start posting stuff because you're worried, like you want people to like respond, and I don't like that. I like posting things because I like to make stuff. So when I feel myself being concerned about like how many people have watched something, that's usually when I take a break and I'm like, whoa, chill out. um, so I'm taking a little bit of an Instagram break after tonight. But I like making reels over there. YouTube has shorts, but it's not the same. It doesn't have like all of the like filters and features and things that you can use. So I prefer making my little videos on Instagram. But I never tell Instagram about what's happening on YouTube. And I realize I should do a better job of doing that. So that's why I was telling Instagram what's up. What was your inspiration to go into this work, and what was the barriers that came with it, or was it a natural feeling? That's a beautiful question. I have a video here on this channel. It's one of the first videos I ever made called Becoming a Black Wiccan, something like that. And I talk about my start on my journey, which started when I was 12. And I'm 38 now. I know you couldn't tell. You don't have to tell me. But I started when I was 12. And my inspiration really came from basically just going to church. Um, every single Sunday, being in the choir, doing all of that Sunday school. You know, my mom had us in church all weekend long. And I was just always a very curious and inquisitive child. And I was always a well read child. And, you know, one of those kids that reads way above their reading level and all of that type of stuff. And when you do that, you start reading things that, you know, are more challenging, that pose more questions. And I started asking my mom first questions that she couldn't answer. Like, why do women have to wear skirts and dresses to church? Like, why am I not allowed? I'm literally not allowed to wear pants to church. Like, where can someone point to me the Bible verse where that is not allowed? I don't understand. um I'm not allowed to curse or say certain words. Like, where does it say that? Like, there's hell and damn and ass and all these words in the Bible, but I can't say them. I'm just confused. So I just had what I thought were really basic questions, and my mom couldn't answer them. And her response was, ask your Sunday school teacher, Miss Washington and Miss Livingston. Ask your Sunday school teachers. So I went to ask my Sunday school teachers, and their answers were basically because. Like, they couldn't point to a Bible verse. They couldn't. And when they did that, what they did was they immediately like opened my eyes up to the fact that there was a difference between the word of God and the teachings of the Bible and like church rules. And so I'm like, okay, well, couldn't I just read the Bible and follow the word of God and not come to church and follow your rules? And they were like, no, you have to do both. And I was like, but why? And they were like, because. And I was like, yeah, y'all are giving me way too much, like, because like nobody can give me good explanations for things. So that led me down a road of looking for answers on my own, reading and researching more things. And when I was about like 13 or so, I discovered Wicca. And then a little show on TV called Charmed came out at about the same time, and the two came together, and I was like, I want to do this. This seems really cool. Um, And then in college, I started learning about Hinduism and sort of started to understand the Eastern philosophies. that the first Wiccans kind of, appropriated and mixed into Wicca. Because I was like, where does this concept of reincarnation come from? Where does this concept of threefold law come from? Like, what are these? Where did these things come from? These are Eastern concepts. How did they get put into Wicca? And I want to learn more about their origins. So I started learning about Hindu mysticism, and basically just who I am and what I am as a witch now is just a result of a lot of research and a lot of trial and error. Because I think, unfortunately, a lot of religious people will be told something. And as long as what they're told is comfortable, then they just run with that and they just keep repeating it and they just take it for truth, but they don't actually put it to the test and ask themselves, does this work? And like I was saying to the person on Instagram who asked me about whether or not how to know that your ritual or your practice is right. I am not interested in doing things because other people do them. I'm interested in doing things because they work. And so if you are praying to somebody or something and it's not working, if you are going to church every Sunday looking for peace and it's not working, then stop fucking doing that and try something else. But the Christian church in particular has done such a good job of convincing everybody that even asking questions is the devil, that even learning about something else is demonic, that people are literally afraid to just ask the question, does this work? And if not, is there something else out there better for me? And it's really unfortunate because what a waste of your time. What a waste of your time to be doing anything over and over and over again with it not working, but literally being so shackled by fear that you can't even try something else to see if it would work is really unfortunate. I'm just really glad I escaped that and that I was never that I started. I am very annoyed because I have played this same music every live and it has never had ads before. Um but yeah, I'm just really glad that I started learning about other people's religions, spiritualities, and practices before I became shackled by the idea that doing so was going to send me to hell. Still here, guys. And life is not only not like hell, but is amazing. My life is amazing. And I've created an amazing life that only gets better every single day. And the things that I want in my life, I'm able to make happen. And I don't have to sit around waiting for anybody's Jesus to like decide I'm deserving of it. So, anywho, that was a long answer, but I hope it kind of gives you an idea of like where I come from. Yeah, it definitely can. Energy work, spiritual work is very much energetically draining for sure. Oh no, spotty internet in the mountains. I know that life. I lived up in the mountains for 6 months when I went to a school called the Mountain School in Usher, Vermont. In high school, one of the best experiences I ever had. But there were literally like 3 radio stations and like no cell phone connection. We weren't really big with the internet then. I was in high school, so Facebook didn't exist at that time. So the internet was not what we know. We were still looking things up on Ask Jeeves. There was no Google. So, do you ever face discrimination or intolerance for what you practice? Yes. Yes, I do. All the time. All the time. When HQ moved into the building that we're currently located in, I had a lot of people in the building who are older, mostly Latinos that are Christian, that to this day mumble like prayers under their breath and like cross themselves when they walk past the door of the shop. They have complained to the super, to the landlord about the incense burning, about the music. Um, not because it's offensive. It's quite nice, actually. Many of the people in the building come to us and have told us, "Oh my God, it smells so good in here. Thank you for the soft music in the mornings. Like, we love it." So I know that our presence adds something really nice to the building. But because some people think that we are involved in negative things, they have complained. They've complained to the what do you call it? The tenant association. They've come to tenant association meetings and are like, "Do you know that there's a witch? She's practicing witchcraft. Is like, how can that be allowed in the building?" So they've tried to get like our shop into trouble or what have you. It doesn't work. Our protections are very well set, and we are exactly where we're supposed to be, doing exactly what we're supposed to be doing. So it's I'm not concerned. 2.5 years later, we're still there. But yep, the shop gets hate mail from time to time. We get letters. I've posted about it on our shop Instagram at BronxWitch HQ, by the way. And yeah, we've gotten like, we get like Jesus pamphlets and people writing letters like, repent or go to hell, blah blah blah, stuff like that. Let me see, is that right? Did I spell that right? Yeah, that's the shop on Instagram. um and I've posted about it there. So yeah, we get hate mail from time to time. I personally have had people not want to teach me things. At one point, I was interested. I'm a Reiki healer, and I was interested in learning African Reiki. It's like a Kemetic based form of energy healing that basically takes Reiki principles and just kind of puts like an African spin on it. um, I wanted to work with a healer teacher here in the Bronx. And when she found out that I was Wiccan, she refunded me my money and told me she would not accept me into her class, um, because my religion is too white, I guess, for her tastes. So, yeah, yeah, discrimination and all kinds of nonsense all the time. All the time. I have people that I follow that I know like would be interested in collaborating with me, but won't because I'm a witch. So I've had people like, reach out and follow and like stalk me and like, but then like when I'm like, "Oh, let's work together," it's like crickets. And I'm like, "Oh, okay." Because their brand is very Christian, or their brand is very POC. Because white people can be, problematic. But when it comes to alternative spiritualities, they're a lot more accepting. I find that if anybody is going to act like everything is the devil and want to condemn everything as evil, it is mostly Black people, Black Americans in particular. So I'm really happy to see how many Black Americans are undoing that colonization and are questioning Christianity and learning more about their ancestry and more about African spirituality and magic and divination and these things in general. With every day that passes, this is changing. But it is still the case that the Christian church has a real stronghold on a lot of Black American sensibility. And so anything that doesn't fit very squarely in the, white Euro Jesus box is treated like it's going to end the world. So those spaces can be tricky. You've probably noticed Usher. Shout out to Usher. Delicioso. But Usher uh, was at the Met Gala, and the theme was garden, and he went with like a dark garden thing, right? And from a fashion standpoint, I think he absolutely nailed it. The Alexander McQueen one of one suit, wonderful. The sheer shirt underneath the blazer, fabulous. The acrylic dripping roses, so gorgeous, so dark romance. wearing the most expensive watch on the red carpet, might I add, a pink diamond $5 million watch. Okay. Garnets. I think those were garnets and diamonds in his ear. Oh my God. Um, they know what they're doing because it's just like tiny little seconds of ads. Me and this creator are gonna have to have a conversation. But anyway, gorgeous. I think he was wearing garnets and diamonds in his ears, which are really cool. I don't know if you ever noticed, he has this part of his ear pierced, which I think is so cool. I had what's called an inverted vertical labrade piercing at one point. If you look at my old videos, I have a piercing in the middle of my lip that went through my lip into the inside of my lip, and I fucking loved it. Took it out for personal reasons, and I'm gonna probably do it again and put it back later in life. But I love alternative spots for piercings and things like that. Super cool. He has inside of his ears pierced, and he had these huge. I think they were garnets, either garnets or rubies. They were humongous and gorgeous. And this dramatic hat and cape that definitely did have him looking like Darkwing Ducks. People were right about that. But he's also wearing those big contacts that make your whatever the dark part of your eye is called, your iris or your whatever, your pupils much bigger. And he literally explained in his interviews that like this whole look is about this romantic, deep, dark garden vibe. Leave it to the black people to be like, oh my God, that's not Usher. It's a demon. Oh my God, he's a Satan worshiper. Oh my God, it's the Illuminati. Oh my God, the demons. He sold his soul. Oh my God. And it's like, you guys look so fucking stupid, bro. You look so fucking stupid. Like, literally, if a black person does anything not strictly stereotypically African American, it's the devil. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Yeah. Yeah, dual beliefs. I think for me, it's just whether it's dual or triple or quadruple, there's the difference between you can be spiritual and religious, just to be clear. Wicca is a religion. It's a religion that I choose to adopt because I like the practices, and I am also a spiritual individual. You can have a religion and also be a spiritual individual, but the reason why religion and spirituality are on two sides of the spectrum is because religion insists that you follow a set of rules regardless of whether or not it actually serves you well, and spirituality is interested only in what brings you peace and enlightenment and joy. And so that's why they are on opposite ends. Because religions only care about whether or not you follow their rules. Whether or not your life actually gets better as a result, nobody seems to give a shit about. They just want you to follow certain rules and fall in line and be like everybody else. Um, to be a good representative of the brand and to keep paying into that brand. I see no difference between the Roman Catholic Church and Starbucks or Apple. It's all the same idea. It's a business that has to ensure your brand loyalty in order to survive. You have to keep buying the product, you have to keep paying into the system. And one of the best ways for them to get free marketing is for you to walk around wearing the Starbucks t shirt, the Apple t shirt, carrying the Apple phone. It's the same with the church. They need you to walk around with your crosses and carry your Bibles and be free advertisement, because any business owner will tell you the most expensive thing in your business costs more than payroll, costs more than inventory, is marketing. Marketing is very freaking pricey. So if you can get free marketing by collaborating with influencers or getting on the news or getting people to walk around with your brand on and marketing for you, then you are going to save a ton of money and do well. And the church subscribes to the same business model. So for those who are, Bible thumpers, you think you're promoting the Bible, but you're really just promoting the business of the church, and you're marketing for free, and you really should probably charge them. One more question. What's your favorite way to tap into your intuition and nourish it? Um, Favorite. I would say most effective way of not tapping into your intuition is there. There isn't really anything to tap into. It's really more, do you trust it? When we talk about our intuition, we're talking about that gut feeling, that je ne sais quoi, that something that tells you you should go for this. Don't walk down that street, or don't have a relationship with that person, or whatever it may be. That's your intuition speaking. That's your higher self speaking to you, and you don't have to tap into it. It's there, whether you like it or not. What you do have to do is to learn to trust it. And I get that question quite a bit. How can I trust my intuition? And if there's anything I can say to you about that, I would say if you don't yet trust your intuition, don't feel bad, because trust is something that is to be earned. Okay. If you met me on the street today and didn't immediately trust me, no one would say that's a bad thing. So if you are not used to listening to your intuition and having it show up for you, don't feel bad that you don't yet trust it. But if you do want to be able to trust it, then make the conscious decision to build a relationship with it. When you have those gut reactions, when your intuition seems to be speaking to you, listen to it and then journal about it. Write down what happened. Something told me not to do this today, and I didn't. And guess what? There was an accident on the 405. There was a such and such. There was a such and such. Make note of it, because your intuition comes through for you all the time. It's just very easy to disregard it. And when you do, you don't really realize, holy shit, my intuition has an amazing track record of like constantly pointing me in the right direction. So just get better about keeping track of when your intuition really helps you out. And just like with a person, it will earn your trust. And then you'll be able to really rely on it. So I hope that helps. Yep. If I mention I have psychic abilities, I get called the devil or being manipulated by demons. Yep. Yep. Meanwhile, most likely the same people who tell you that will go to church and listen to a prophet prophesy about what's going to happen, when Jesus is going to come back, what's going to happen next year, et cetera, et cetera. And they have a specific role in the church. But if you do it, then you're the devil. Understand that that is about control. The idea that you and God are separate and you have to go through the church or through the pope or through a priest or through a pastor in order to get to God is not an accidental structure. It's done to control you. Because if you knew that you could speak to God sitting right in your bedroom and you didn't have to go pay money to somebody to do it for you, you would. And then the business, the enterprise that is the church, would crumble. So that is why that hypocrisy exists. When you ask yourself, wait a minute, why is it that the front of the church is a whole altar, candles, incense, offerings, the whole nine? We don't even bother to change the name. We call it an altar. But if I set up an altar in my home, I'm worshiping the devil. How does that make sense? It doesn't, unless you realize that the church is a business. And if you could do everything at home that you pay money to do at church, then there would be no reason for the church. And you might not be so willing to give as much of your money, time, resources, attention to it as you do. So I'm sorry that that happens to you, but hopefully you can find a community of people that appreciate your psychic abilities. Um, and finding community, I think, is one of the most important things that people interested in magic and spirituality can do. because you are going to encounter people that want to make you feel like there is something wrong with you or something evil or bad about you for being you. And sometimes that can really scare you into not being yourself. So that's one of the reasons I started the Coven community, our virtual space, so that people can be themselves and talk to other people who are like them without judgment. So whether you join the Coven community or you find some other space, find other people like you, because people who are in touch with their spiritual gifts are a blessing to the world. And I hate to see people with them stop expressing them because of not having enough people around them to support them. Hello, welcome, Theta. How you doing? Oh, you know what? Maybe. I do not know who the hell the Illuminati's is. I don't know who they be. I don't know their story. But people sure do seem to think that they are just absolutely everywhere. Um, I don't know, child. All I know is that the man was wearing some contacts and looked damn good. And that doesn't mean he's a demon. Um, and demons exist, but it's just so funny that people think that they're just like everywhere and everyone is one. And especially if you're a person of color and you do anything that's not like, it's just so stupid. That's your loved one speaking to you through intuitions, like the examples you said, warning you. Yeah, there's a little bit of a difference between like receiving communication from ancestors, spirit guides, etc. If you think of the energetic world as a rainbow, that's how I like to describe it. All of the colors are the same. At the end of the day, they're all frequency, right? But the different speed of the way in which particles are moving will change the color that you see. So the spiritual world is like that. It's like a rainbow. And you have different energetic vibrations. Ancestors are on one color wavelength, spirit guides are on another, angels are on another, demons are on another, and your own energetic vibration is on another. And your energetic vibration is what we refer to as your intuition. And when you get really good at speaking the language of spirit, you can tell the subtle difference between your intuition versus an ancestor versus a spirit guide versus an angel, etc. Before you get to that point, though, most of it will kind of feel like the same. The only thing you'll know is like, okay, that wasn't a thought. It wasn't a conscious thought that I had. It was something else, but you might not be able to put your finger exactly on what was speaking to you. Over time, you keep taking notes, keep tracking it, keep paying attention, keep developing your relationships with them. You'll start to get good at those kind of nuanced differences between the different voices, the different colors of the rainbow. Okay. You know what? You got one more chance, music. So many novelas and rituals are so pagan. Oh yeah. Well, especially when you're talking about novenas, you are talking about Catholicism, a particular sect of Christianity, and Catholicism is the most pagan of all the Christian sects. They don't like to talk about it, but yeah, the pagan practices are most obvious in Catholic rituals. Well, thank you, Theta. I'm glad you agree, babe. You know what I'm saying? I like it when people agree with me. I can't lie about that. I don't mind when people disagree, but I prefer if you disagree with me. So, does Wicca work with the Ars Goetia? Yes and no. So the Goetia is a collection of instructions for demon communication. Basically, it breaks down the different demons of the rainbow I was talking about, the demon vibration. So it breaks them down and assigns them all numbers and like tells their story, and then also provides you with sigils and instructions for how you can identify those demons and how you can work with them. Honestly, for the Christian fanatics that love to call everything the demons, they really should read the Goetia, and learn about the different demons so they could actually identify them. But there aren't as many as they think. Uh, and I wouldn't say that Wicca works with the Goetia. Wicca is a neo pagan religion that was created by a man named Gerald Gardner in like the 1940s or so in England. Um, and because it's a new religion, it has taken on a lot of evolution, but essentially the original claim was that it was a religion that was a goddess-based, earth-centered religion that was the remaining lineage of ancient earth-based goddess practices of Europe. That was a bunch of BS. It was definitely a new thing that had been created and was not a reflection of like an ancient lineage. But the idea behind Wicca was to try to normalize, codify, and formalize the practice of magic into a religion that could kind of look and feel like the other modern day religions, like Christianity, like Judaism. Basically, Gerald Gardner was trying to put some respect on magic's name, and he kind of figured the best way to do it would be to try to create a neat and tidy religion with its own holidays and rules and practices and prayers and songs so that it could feel like the other religions. Um, and he somewhat accomplished that. What he ended up achieving really was just bringing witchcraft into like the modern discourse, and bringing it to America. Um, which had a big impact on its popularity. Um, so yeah, I wouldn't say that it works with the Goetia. It's not a demon-based religion. Um, but because it's so open and flexible, you can be Wiccan and really kind of go down any other path. I think the one thing that unites Wiccans is just that um, we love nature. We see it as a reflection of the divine on earth. And we see magic as a type of science um, that is neither good nor bad, but is just another way of improving your life and being in touch with and manipulating the energy that makes up our world. So, working with demons might fall into that category for you, but it's not necessarily a formal tenet of what Wicca is all about. I don't know if that answered your question at all. Night, night, my dears. Great seeing you. All right, y'all. So, I wanted to show you this deck that I got so we can get some ideas on what we feel about it. And y'all can tell me if you've ever seen it before. It's from Blue Angel, which is like a pretty well-known publishing house. They make a lot of like the Oracle decks and stuff. And it's by somebody named Tony Carmine Salerno from Australia. But he's Italian. Okay. Yes. Okay, good. That helps. Awesome. Awesome. I have found the Lesser Key of Solomon, Goetia, to be very helpful for me in identifying demons and calling them forward when necessary, because the idea of demon and evil going together, not quite right. Um, yeah. So, as a practitioner that does work on behalf of other people, it is important for me to be as knowledgeable as possible on all of the different energetic beings that exist. And so it is my job, just like it's your doctor's job to learn as much about medicine, and it's your hairstylist's job to learn as much about different hair textures. It's my job as a diviner and a practitioner that works on behalf of other people to be knowledgeable about all of the different types of vibrations that are out there, because I may need to work with them in order to get things done for other people, and not necessarily for my own practice. If that makes sense. If you are a teacher and you are not constantly learning about things, whether you want to learn about them or not, then you're probably not a very good teacher. So, whoever you're learning from, make sure your teacher is always learning. And yeah, okay, ready? Let's see. So, I think the idea behind this deck is that it has different angels and gods and goddesses. But what I really liked about it was they're not angels and deities in the like the conventional sense, right? They're more of like angels and deities of different types of like pursuits and different vibrations and things that you can. I don't know. I'll just show it to you. You guys tell me what you think. Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that frustrating that you can be raised in an environment that makes you afraid to just learn about something? No one says you've got to call on anything because you're reading a book about it. But that's really how they make it out, that like just learning about it is, you're gonna open up a portal to the end. And I think you should be suspicious of any group or any person that doesn't want you to learn, to just learn. Okay, let's see. So this is the angel of healing. The angels have felt your sadness and have shown up today to send you healing. Maybe I'll do a quick reading with these. These are beautiful messages. And I just felt like these would be really great cards for identifying like why. Um, when I do an ancestral channeling, one of the questions I ask is, okay, why is this ancestor stepping forward right now? What is it trying to help you with in your life? And I felt like this is a great deck for those types of messages. God of the arts, the artist within you is about to emerge. Look at the rainbow. Yes. I don't have a lot of decks. I think for a reader, I probably have like less than 30 decks, which might sound like a lot to some of you, but when it comes to like readers, I know people with hundreds of decks. My homegirl Tasha, who's going to be my special guest on my next High Tea Live, literally has like 300 decks. So some readers really love getting different decks. I don't. I only pick ones, even when I see ones that I like the art of, I will just admire it from afar. To actually get me to purchase a deck or get a deck from somebody, it has to have answers to the types of questions that I am likely to ask. Because I'm not sitting here trying to go through mental gymnastics. You know, I like decks that answer the question. So, decks that have answers to questions I don't typically ask. Um, like, you're not going to see me with a lot of love decks, like love and romance decks. If you've ever booked a reading with me, if you haven't, you should go look at this just to look at it and see that, like, I'm not capped. I'm very honest. If you go to my readings and services page and you go to book a tarot reading with me, there is a disclaimer at the bottom that says, I do not entertain romantic questions. I will make exceptions for married individuals who have questions about their marriages, but I will not entertain your stupid question about that boy. Why is he not calling you after you smashed? Why has he not left his girlfriend for you when he said that he would? Does he really love you? Is somebody spiritually attacking him and that's why he doesn't want to wife you up? No, 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 no. He doesn't fucking like you. You give him free food and free coochie and your couch is comfortable. That's why he comes over at 3 o'clock in the morning. Let it go. You deserve better. Move on. I don't need to pull any cards about that. 99.9% of the people who've ever come to me with questions like that are Black women, and it hurts my soul. So I have decided to not answer that stupid fucking question. So if you come to me for a general reading and you want to ask questions about Deshaun, Michael, or whoever the hell, I will refund you and cancel your appointment. Period. So I don't get decks about love and romance because I don't answer and entertain those types of questions. They make me sad. Okay? They make me sad. I'm really sick and tired of y'all trying to get some worthless piece of trash man to love you. It just drives me crazy. So I don't entertain those types of questions. So anyway, people think I'd be kidding when I say that. Please go look at my readings and services page. When you try to book a tarot reading with me, it is a disclaimer in there. You have to tell me what it is you're coming to me for. You don't have to tell me your questions, but you have to choose the type of reading you want. And when you sit down with me, if you start talking and it's about Deshaun, Michael, and whoever the hell, I will say thank you so much. I really appreciate you honoring me with trusting me with your questions. Your appointment is canceled. You will receive a refund in 3 to 5 business days. And I will hang up on you and I will refund you your money. Don't try it. I'm not interested in that bullshit. I do not need to wake up my spirit guides to ask them no dumb shit like that. Okay? You give up the pusai for free. He likes it and he doesn't actually love you or want to be with you. Move on. Thank you, Amanda. Most people do. Right. The common sense is free. So it says right in the answer, he doesn't want you. Like that's in my disclaimer. That's the answer. I don't need to pull cards. He doesn't want you. You give him just enough for free for him to keep bothering you at 3 in the morning. He doesn't respect you. He's not interested in you. You don't respect yourself. And I don't need to wake up my spirit guides for that. Welcome to the chat, TMKC. Welcome to the chat. I love your logo, first of all. 3 trash bag dusties or air mattress mandingo. Thank you very much. I don't need to go to spirit about that. Okay? You want to keep fucking that loser? Go right the fuck ahead. Do not come to me trying to figure out why he doesn't love you. You don't love you. Now let's pull some cards about that. Let's pull some cards about that. Let's go to spirit and ask why you don't love yourself and why you need the attention of this man or that man in order to feel like you are worth something. Let's talk about what trauma you experienced in your childhood that convinced you that you didn't matter unless some man wanted to climb on top of you. Let's talk about that. But why he's not calling you, boo, I wouldn't call you either. Stop the madness. You don't need a reading for that. Yes. Same. Same. I can't. I have a very small circle of friends, and it's been a long time. It's been since our 20s since I have entertained conversations like that. You know what I mean? The women in my circle are not on that type of time. And I'm very grateful because we weren't always all like that, you know. And don't get me wrong, I would have, if I had a tarot reader to go to, my dumb ass would have been at some tarot reader paying money to ask the same questions about why so and so's not calling me and what have you. Tarot reading just wasn't popping. The internet wasn't like it was back then, so there was no such thing as finding a reader on YouTube and hitting them up to find out why this guy hasn't called me. But my dumbass would have been doing it back in the day. Yes, I would have been spending my little babysitting money on questions like that for sure. So I'm not saying I'm like better than anybody. I just, at my big age, don't have the time for it. And my spirit guides don't either. Yes, welcome. I'm happy to have you. Okay, let's see. Let's look at more of these cards. Ooh, Angel of Expression. Speak your truth and express yourself clearly. This is me. This is me on my only stands. which I haven't been on in months, by the way. And like 2 new people subscribed this week. Says my emails, and I don't know what they're subscribing to because I haven't posted on there in months. I need to get back at it because I did really enjoy it. I was loving it. So I need to get back at it. So maybe that message is for me. So go put my culo back on my OnlyStans. Check back in. Okay, God of spiritual healing. An aspect of you or a situation in your life is in need of healing. Oh, ain't that right? Oh, maybe these are messages for me. Because it sure was. Don't worry, I got some healing a couple weeks ago. Okay, but then I didn't call him back because I don't really got time. I got what I needed. Goddess of Awakening. Let me stop spilling all the tea I usually share with the coven. I forget this is not a coven exclusive live. Goddess of Awakening. This is a wondrous time of exploration, romance, and creativity. Wait a minute now. I swear. There's a theme going on here. Okay. Goddess of the unknown. A new chapter in your life is around the corner. Remove fear and embrace the unknown. I love that she's in like hijab. Random side note, I fucking love hijab. I fucking love hijab. I do. I think the religion of Islam, first of all, beautiful. If you've never gotten a chance to read the Quran, do it. Beautiful. Everything you think you know about Islam, wrong. Read the Quran. So beautiful of a religion. But also, I find hijab to be absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. There's something about that level of modesty that is strangely feminine. Like, it's unbelievably beautiful. I find hijab to be so beautiful. I would totally wear it. The only reason why I haven't is because I feel like it would be appropriative and come across as like costumey, because I'm not Muslim. So I don't do it. But I would love to wear hijab, and I would also love to wear a sari. And that's another one that I feel like would be appropriative, and like I was being costumey by doing it because I don't fully understand the culture, but hijabs and saris, I think, are two of the most beautiful just types of attire. I just think they're so gorgeous. And the fabrics that they use and the colors and stuff, oh, just so pretty. Angel of the universe, you are being encouraged to expand your thinking. So do we see how these cards would be good for an ancestral channeling? Like, I feel like these messages are great for understanding what a particular ancestor might be trying to help you with. Goddess of oneness, someone you love is thinking fondly of you at the moment. I like these. And I like cards with more simple art, I think. I'm not really one for like dramatic, overly involved pictures, because I think that's the difference between a diviner and a card reader that really relies on the card itself. For me, the message is coming from outside of me, and the card helps me to just explain the message to you. So I like simple messaging, because if you're coming to me for a reading and I show you this as my client, I don't want there to be I want you to have to be able to listen to what your spirits are telling you about what the message is. And when there's a lot going on in the cards, I think sometimes that can be difficult. When the cards are really simple, then you're not sitting here trying to see every detail of the card. You're getting an impression and you're feeling it. And I feel like that's real reading. Okay. This is Angel of Union. A partnership is blessed and destined for greatness. I like these. And if you're an OG here, you know I really don't do oracle cards. If I keep these will only be like my third or fourth deck. And I started reading tarot when I was 15, 23 years ago. I did not get my first oracle deck until I was 28, 29, something like that. It was my ex-husband's work friend. that gifted me the Vintage Wisdom Oracle. And then I had that Oracle deck for probably 5 or 6 years before I ever got another one. And I swore up and down that I was never going to get another Oracle deck because I was like, I'm just not an Oracle deck girly. But now they're starting to roll in. Angel of support. The universe has heard your silent call for help. I love that one just because y'all know how I feel about purple. Yeah. That's how I let them come to me. I don't go looking for cards, especially as a shop owner. Like I have to buy cards and stuff like that all the time. So there's no need for me to go shopping. Like cards come through the shop on a regular basis. If there's a deck that I'm supposed to have or a deck that's going to work for the people who come to me for readings, it will show up at the shop. Yes, I feel you. I was married for a little over 11 years. Technically, I'm still married. We filed the paperwork, but nothing's been finalized. And we were together we started dating when I was like, we met when I was 19 and started dating shortly after that. So 17, 18 years, something like that. And yeah, once you're married, you're on the other side of something. And for all the people who are not yet married, like all of their concerns just seem so stupid. It's like, no offense. And it has to be marriage too, because people will swear up and down, oh, but I live with my baby daddy. It's the same thing. Or we have no, ma'am. No, ma'am, sirs. No, ma'am. No, it is not. It is not the same. When you legally bind yourself, all of your assets and every decision you ever make to somebody else's life, that is a completely different story. I don't care how long you've been living with that man. I don't care how many children you have with that woman. If you have not signed that contract, that legally binding, financially impactful contract, you have no fucking clue. But witches veil, don't they? Or no? Oftentimes, non-witches, like people who don't know that they're witches or don't think of themselves as witches, veil all the time as well. If you understand your energetic, like, what's the word I'm looking for? If you field, like your energetic force field, some if you've ever put on a hoodie, if you know what, if you've ever played hide and seek, I think hide and seek is one of the best examples of veiling that everybody can understand. Remember being a kid and playing hide and seek and being like behind the curtain or right in front of somebody and literally sitting there and just imagining yourself as not there. Don't see me, don't see me, don't see me. I'm not here right now. I'm not here right now. I'm not here right now. And somehow, even though you are right there, they walk right by you. If you've done that, you've veiled yourself. If you've done that, you've veiled yourself. That was one of my favorite things to do when I was a kid. When we would play hide and seek, I used to get a kick out of how I could hide in plain sight. Like I would stand in a closet, not behind anything, just in the dark in the closet. And I would just sit there and I would close my eyes and I would slow my breath and I would veil myself. And my sister and my little cousins would come in the closet, move stuff around, and somehow just not see me and leave. And then I'd pop out and they'd be like, "You were in the closet? I went in there." And I'm like, "I know." I used to fucking love that. I used to think it was the coolest thing. It was the coolest thing. And then when Harry Potter came out and they had like the invisibility cloak, I was like, I do that. I do that. I know how to do that. I used to love to do that. Saris are beautiful. Yeah, psychic shield, a veil, whatever you want to call it. But basically being able to go unseen. Because when we see things, we don't just see them with our eyes. All of our senses are involved. So yeah, something can be undetectable in that way. And I used to love that. And I still do it because I live in the same neighborhood that I grew up in. So there are definitely people that I don't want to see me. And I'll be like, ooh, not here. Angel of manifestation. Your efforts, determination, and perseverance have paid off. I love that. Have paid off. It's already done. Yes. Time to look at how you value yourself. Issues of self love. Angel of soul love. So these are beautiful. I might do a quick little collective reading. Would we like that? Quick little collective reading. I feel like this month, I know this month is an incredibly abundant month. It just feels so juicy. I don't know about y'all, but the bank accounts are looking very good right now. Um, and and we're only halfway through the month. I feel like so much more is on its way. Spirit has been telling me that the month of May has been coming up in so many of my readings as being like a big turning point for me personally, but also for the collective. This year in general has been a huge year of revelations, but I feel like the work that so many of us have been doing is really about to pop this month. So if you've been feeling that way too, um, we're picking up on the same vibration. The goddess of beauty, you are a wondrous being of light. There is nothing to change or fix. Wow. Beautiful. That's a really cool image. I love her eyes. They're like watery. Really beautiful. Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. Okay. People want a reading. What's the name of the deck? The deck is Angels, Gods, and Goddesses by Tony Carmine Salerno. It's published by Blue Angel Publishing. What seems an injustice is actually a blessing. One more. The goddess of compassion. Self-criticism is diminishing your sense of self-worth. Love that. These are really pretty. They're really pretty, but they're also really helpful, which is more important to me. Shall we do a quick reading for the collective, y'all, before we go to bed tonight? So we go into the dream state with some guidance, some clarity. I'm down. Oh, did my bed. God damn it. Hate when I do that. I'm literally sitting right here next to my charger, but then I won't be charging, and then my shit dies. And then I'm in. Okay, we're gonna bring the music back. I'm gonna burn some herbs. I'm gonna say a quick prayer, call in my guides, and then I'm gonna pull cards for us. Okay. So while that's queuing up, if you guys have any more questions, I will remind you all that I go live like this every full moon, exclusively with the Coven Witches for what I call high tea. I do post some clips of the high tea usually on here, but if you want to actually be in the room, then you want to join the Coven, link in the description. This month, we will be talking about dark divine energies. I got a new tattoo, y'all. Have y'all seen my new tattoo? Wait, hold on. Can I show it to you? Hold on. I'm going to end up flashing you all, but check this out. I got a new tattoo in honor of my relationship with Lilith. Check it out. We like how gorgeous, right? Shout out to my girl Danielle McKnight, owner of Dark Moon Lilith Tattoo in Long Beach, California. She did an incredible job. Love it, love it, love it. She's officially my West Coast tattoo artist from now on. And she is a black witch who owns a tattoo shop. So I was like, "Oh, girl, you and me got to be friends." She hung out with my sister and I when I was in LA. So I went to her to get the tattoo. And then I was like, "You're dope." Like, we spent it, this tattoo should have taken 2 hours. I was at her shop for 5 hours because we were just kikiing about magic, witchcraft, being black witches, starting our own businesses. Like, we just have so much in common. It was crazy. So we were just chilling. And I was like, "Do you want to hang out with me and my sister tomorrow and go to this conference?" So she came with us to the conference. She was just super dope. And the purpose of me getting this tattoo was to commemorate my budding relationship with Lilith. And my homegirl, Natasha Crawford, is from the UK and she is a devotee of Lilith. So she has had a relationship with Lilith for a very long time, and also with Santa Muerte and other dark divine feminine energies that are considered crossroads guardians or angels of death, etc. And so she's been really helping me in cultivating my relationship with these spirits and understanding them better. And she is going to be my special guest. This is going to be the first time I've ever had somebody go live with me for high tea. So she's going to be my special guest this month. And we're going to be talking about connecting with dark divine energy. So if you have a calling to learn more about or work with Lilith, Santa Muerte, Hecate, Kalima, Oya, any of these dark divine energies, then come be a part of that high tea, because Natasha can answer your questions way better than I can. So she is going to come and do that and answer my questions and answer your questions. So tune in to that if you enjoy these Q&As. Hey, honey, welcome, welcome, welcome. No, the beauty about YouTube is you can always go back. But also, I'm about to do a little collective reading for everybody. So just in time to receive a message. Hi, Diana. Diana, uh, just letting you guys know, the BronxWitch staycation is almost filled up. Early bird special ended tonight at midnight, so the application is currently unavailable while I review everybody and make sure that they filled out their contracts and paid their deposits. Anybody who didn't is going to get bumped off the list, so I will know by the end of tomorrow how many spots are available, but it is filling up surprisingly fast. We have 13 spots total, and I think 10 of them have already been potentially claimed. Potentially. When I say potentially, I mean if I go to check tomorrow that they didn't pay their deposit, then they're out. And then their spot will be freed up. Okay. So don't miss out, girl, because I know you wanted to come back this year and I would love for you to come again. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I've been drinking out of copper lately. So good for you if you are a melanated individual, in particular. No, I didn't. I wanted to see those. It was more visible in upstate New York, but they were gorgeous. Purple and green, that's my color. Thank you, my dear. Thank you. Yeah, the thigh, you wouldn't think it would hurt that much, but it actually did. But Danny is wonderful. She has a light hand, and I have quite a lot of tattoos. My back, my sides are all done. And there will be many more in my lifetime. Tattoos hurt. There's no denying that. But I'm not going to say I like the pain of it. I think that's an exaggeration. But I very quickly forget it, I guess is the best way to put it. And I do enjoy the pain right after the tattoo is over. the pain of the healing stage where it's sore and it hurts a little bit in the shower and it hurts when you put on your ointment and stuff like that. I do actually really enjoy that part. So I don't mind going through the pain of the tattoo in order to get to that part of it. Probably sounds a little freaky, but I do like it. Um, so yes, it hurts, but for me, it's so worth it that it's like, it's okay. We'll get there. Thank you. I'm glad you guys like it. Yes, we be doing that. But also recognize that we are powerful energies. The only problem is that we're contained within these human bodies that are just so limited in what they can do and that are wired for physical survival. So they're not only limited, they're incredibly fearful. Our physical bodies are riddled with fear. We're afraid of everything and anything that we don't fully understand. And so that prevents us from really engaging in things. And then on top of that, we do annoying things like get injured and die. So we have to, some of that fear is justified. Um, so we're just super limited, but we are also amazing, powerful energies. So we definitely be doing that. I know, right? I know. I have a lot of things in my lifetime that, as a result of being married for so long, I have not yet explored, and a lot of curiosities. And I am very curious as to, I believe everything about us is a tool in our toolkit, that nothing about you is an accident. You came here with a certain soup of character traits and abilities and things like that in order to be able to do the things in this lifetime that you are here to do. And so my ability to sit through pain, I get a kick out of how much my tattoo artists love me. The overwhelming feedback that I get from all of them is, oh my God, you sit so well, because a lot of people fidget and flinch and move because of the pain. And the way I just be chilling, like I will just be laying there on my phone, watching the TV. And that shit hurts. It's not like I'm not in pain. I'm in excruciating pain sometimes. And I will channel the pain to my face. So if you watch me get a tattoo, it's hilarious because my whole body is still while my face is like, I just channel the response up to my face, and the rest of my body is able to sit incredibly still through physical pain. Why is that? Why did I come here with that ability? I don't know. I have no interest in having children, so it's not for that. So, what is it? I don't know. But it makes me interested in, like, what else can I sit through? Like, what else can I do? I don't know. I'm going to find out though. I know people like that. I couldn't finish mine. Yeah, my first tattoo when I was 18 was right on my spine. I got it the year before that Moving Wedding Crashers came out, so I did not know that people would eventually call it a tramp stamp because I probably would have picked a different place. But that was my first one, and it wasn't a really good experience, and it hurt, and I didn't finish it. Um, but whatever it was that like woke up in me after that, I was fine. It was, once you pop, you can't stop type situation, and I've been getting them ever since then. So for the past 20 years, I've been getting tattoos, and I probably have 30 or so now. Okay. I want to put some music back on. I don't know if I want to put the frickin' song that was just on because it now all of a sudden wants to have ads, which is like, excuse me? But I don't want to pick something that's going to make this um what you call it, YouTube want to cut off. All right. We'll play it again and just deal with the ads, but I'm gonna have to have a talk. Is that what the comments say? No. All right. Yours was on your neck. Oh, I can imagine. I have like, I want to show it. Back of my neck. Let me see. Hold on. Okay, I don't know if this is gonna work. Anyway, I have the back of my neck done. Um, and the artist who did the back of my neck was also a chick, super cute Asian chick on West 4th Street. She was pretty badass. I feel like the tattoos I've gotten from female artists have been gentler in general. Um, so yeah, back of my neck was done by a chick, and surprisingly easy breezy. It was at like 5 in the morning, drunk on West 4th Street. This chick that I knew from the bars, I used to bartend down there, so I was always like popping in to get random tattoos in the middle of the night, slightly intoxicated, not wanting to go home. So this was one of them. And one of these chicks that was like a bar fly in the area that I would always run into, she randomly came in and I kind of skipped her. Like she was gonna get her tattoo, but then it took her too long to get her money or some shit. So I kind of slipped in there and like gave the artist my ID, and she was like, "Okay, you ready to pay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm ready to pay." And I went, and then that chick came back and she was kind of mad at me, but then she got over it and we started chatting. So we were talking for the like 3 hours that it took to get it done. So that made it go by easier, I think. Definitely the parts right on my spine were not fun, but I had distraction. Really? Oh wow. I wonder if that helped or hurt it. I wonder if that made you more sensitive or less. That's interesting. The baby was probably in there like, what the fuck is going on? What the hell? Okay, I'm gonna open a window. It's a little toasty. I don't want to be sweaty. For those of you who are new around here, when I do tarot readings, I sweat in my cooch, and it is my sacral chakra activating. And back when I started this channel, I used to go live for collective tarot readings every new moon and every full moon. And I had a fan that was specifically dedicated. It was under the table on the floor, shooting right up at my cooch. And everybody called it my yoni fan. And like people tuned into the live so regularly that they would like help me out. Like I would forget, and like Betty and Irene would be like, hold up, hold up, hold up, is your yoni fan on? And I'd be like, oh shit, no, it's not. Thanks guys, thanks. So I don't have my yoni fan, so that's okay. um I have a fan, but I don't want to turn it on because it's going to be loud. So I got the window open now, and it's a beautiful crisp. It's one of those nights in New York City where you want to go out, like I love my city so much. It's crazy right now. Our mayor fucking sucks. Our governor thinks black kids in the Bronx don't know what computers are. Motherfuckers are shooting up the train. People are finding legs and body parts and stuff. It's rough. I'm not gonna lie. I've lived here my entire life, and right now is a little bit of a rough patch that we're going through. COVID definitely, you know, it's taking some time to rebound from that. So we're going through it. But when I tell you there's nothing like nighttime in New York City, like in the spring and the summer when it's cool out at night, like you just want to be outside and everybody is outside. Like I know if I went outside right now, there's just mad people outside. It's a Monday night and I promise you, people are outside, the bars are popping, like it's just a wonderful place to be. And I just opened that window and literally just the air makes me want to just go outside right now. But I don't have nowhere to go. And motherfuckers are belting women around the neck and doing all kinds of shit. So we're gonna stay right here with y'all. But my soul wants to go outside. Oh my goodness. Hives. Yeah. I've had weird um reactions to tattoos too. Mostly just going into shock. Have you ever gone into shock when getting a tattoo? I've had that happen. When I got my Martha's Vineyard, you see that? Hold up. I don't know if you can see that. Where's she at? I have Martha's Vineyard, the island of Martha's Vineyard up here. I got that on the night I got proposed to in Martha's Vineyard. I didn't know I was about to get proposed to. But I went with my soon to be ex husband to get this tattoo. And we had been like out at the beach all day. So I was in just like a bathing suit and shorts. And then the temperature dropped dramatically. And I'm on the table with no top on, getting stuff done over here. And all of a sudden, I'm just like violently shaking. And I'm like, they're like, "Are you okay?" And I'm just chilling. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Why? What's wrong?" They're like, "You're shaking." And I was like, "Oh shit, I am." So they had to like cover me with blankets and warm me up. New York is a jungle. They call it a concrete jungle for a reason. It is definitely a jungle. It's like animals and shit out here. It's pretty crazy, I have to admit. But it's also like, it's just hard to describe. If you've never been to New York, do yourself a favor and come just so you can kind of feel it for real. TV and movies don't really do it justice, I think. They do and they don't. They like romanticize it and they make it into something um more grandiose than it is. They don't really emphasize how people just like live here. They tend to focus on like Times Square and Midtown and the Village and like as if everybody's like super rich and like, Sarah Jessica Parker Sex in the City type stuff. And it's like that's reality for like a sliver of New Yorkers, but most of us are really just like living regular lives living here. And that's a lot more interesting. It's not like being on like a red carpet. It's a lot more real. But I just love being in a city. I don't like having to wait for things. I enjoy convenience. I enjoy expediency. One of the things I hate the most about going to other people's quote unquote cities is how long everything takes, how far apart things are from each other, and things like that. I don't like that. New York, everything is right on top of each other and everything is available at all times. If I wanted a pizza right now, there's like 75 different types of cuisine I could order right now. If I wanted to go dancing right now, if I wanted to fucking ice skate right now, I could probably find a place. Like everything is always happening at all times, which is pretty cool. And I like that because if I want it, I want it and I want it right now. And New York, you can find it, baby. You can find it. And whatever it is, it's like a 45-minute train ride, 20-minute taxi. That's pretty much it. You know, LA was cool. Like I checked out LA. LA has like a similar vibe, but it's like a fucking hour to get to everything and anything. And yeah, no. Mm-mm. Nope. If I was bored and I wanted to have a good conversation with somebody, it's 3 o'clock. Bars close at 4. I still have an hour to go downstairs and hit up one of the bars in the neighborhood and strike up a conversation with somebody. I could go grocery shopping right now. Morton Williams is a 24-hour grocery store. I could go grocery shopping right now. My laundromat down the street, 24-hour laundromat. I could go do my laundry right now. Like, we're just on that type of time. Our subway's open all times. Get on the train right now, be in Brooklyn in an hour. After hour spots, if you know where to go, you know where to go. 4 o'clock is the technical closing time. Definitely find some spots that are open past that. And I like that. I like that. Yeah, see, I couldn't. I couldn't. My brain doesn't start operating properly until about 5 in the evening. I'm a night owl type of individual. So, like, me going to bed when the sun comes up is a normal occurrence, even when I don't have things to do. That might happen to me tonight. It's already almost 3 o'clock. So, I need to be in places where things happen later, just generally speaking. So, yeah, that would absolutely drive me crazy. That would drive me crazy. Sorry. Also, I'm famous in my head. And New York is a great place for people who think they're famous. Like, we all think we're on TV, basically. Like, we all think we're in our own little reality shows, and everybody in this city is a whole fucking character. And we're all playing a character in the TV show that is like our delusion, and it's the perfect place for that. It's the perfect place for that. People, New Yorkers, like people, whether you're born in New York or you come here and you stay here, there's something about the type of person that thrives in this city that is a little bit delusional and thinks that they're a big shot, like thinks that there's something important. And we would not do well in little small towns where everybody is all up in your business and treats you like you're regular. We need to feel kind of unattainable. And in New York, it's so easy to be anonymous. And you can pretend like it's something you choose, you know. It's funny. It's interesting being from here. Yes, big dreamers. Yes, even it doesn't matter what you have. It doesn't matter. You could be the brokest of broke. You could literally be unhoused in this city. There's just something about New Yorkers that is like everybody's a character in a TV show. Like when people come here and they're like, oh my God, this place is not real. That's why. Like California, everybody's famous because they are on TV. Here, everybody's famous because everybody just thinks they're the shit. Like everybody thinks that everybody wants to be them and like know more about them. So it really is the right place for us because we're all crammed in together. And so we're basically all just being like, who are you? Who are you? And it's like, we're both nobody. Nobody knows either one of us. But we all have this attitude of like, hello, hello. Welcome, Eclectic Goddess. Just in time. All right, y'all. Let's get into reading mode, okay? I know not all of you are night owls like me. Some of you are probably hanging on by a thread. I am probably going to, after this, I really shouldn't have a late night snack. I already brushed my teeth and everything, but I might anyway. I can always brush them again. You want to know one of my favorite late night snacks? I try to keep Teddy Grahams in the house, and I will put Teddy Grahams in a bowl and add oat milk and eat it like cereal. If you've never done it, do it. If you like cereal, and especially if you don't mind when your cereal gets soggy, try it because it gets soggy fast. But if you're somebody who likes soggy cereals like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, you're going to love it. Don't say I never taught you anything. Okay. You like the chocolate ones? I usually do the honey. But last week, my Instacart guy messed up and brought me chocolate instead of honey, and it was all right. It's all right. All right. Let's get into this reading, y'all. So this reading is for the collective. And we're in between moon phases. Directly in between, pretty much. We just passed a new moon on the 8th, and we are heading towards a full moon in Sagittarius on the 23rd, I believe. And the new moon was, I want to say hold up, I know the answer to this. Was it Taurus season yet? Or are we coming up to Taurus? No, I think it was Taurus. So we had a new moon in Taurus, a very prosperous Venusian energy. Moving into this full moon in Sagittarius, a very expansive energy. And I really like the combination of those two things happening together, because I think that's what's making me feel like May is all about abundance, because the new moon was about planting the seed for prosperity and abundance, planting the seed for physical comfort, planting the seed for material gain. And then by the full moon, if you've planted that seed and you've been watering it, and you've been cultivating it, you've been removing the stones out of your garden that might be blocking growth. If you've been doing the work to make way for it, this new moon or this full moon coming up is like, boom, here's the moment where it all actually pops up out of the surface, where all of those seeds that were cultivating and percolating under the soil pop right out. I really feel like a lot of us are going to see huge advancements coming along, unexpected money, unexpected payouts, unexpected opportunities, or maybe expected, because you've been planting the seed for these things. You've been praying for these things. You've been manifesting these things. You've been lighting the candles. You've been doing the work. You've been cutting cords and cutting ties to people and habits and things that do not serve this vision, that are not in alignment with this vision. And so for a lot of you, it's going to be not unexpected at all. It's going to be like, yep, finally, this is what I've been asking for. And now here it is. It's a very abundant time. I feel like what I want to ask is, what can we as a collective focus on for the next week or so to make sure we're ready for all of the abundance and success that this full moon is bringing in? I like to check in with this idea from time to time. Like, what can I do to make sure that I'm ready for it? I've been asking for it. And I think I've done all the things. I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready. But Spirit, am I really ready? Are there bad habits? Are there connections? Are there things that I still need to address or adjust in order to truly be ready for what's about to happen? That's what I want to ask. Does that question seem fair to you guys? Shall we go to Spirit and ask, what can we as a collective do in order to be ready for the abundance coming in on the full moon? Does that feel like a fair question for y'all? Are you interested in receiving that answer? Let me know. right? Listen, I be teaching the stuff you need to know. Magic, spirituality, and the best snacks. Thank you. Yes. Thank you, ancestors. Love it. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Okay, cool, cool, cool. I just want to double check because I'm curious about that, but I could always pull cards for myself. I want to ask, this is for the collective, so I want to know what you guys want to know. All right. We have a beautifully abundant full moon coming up with the full moon in Sagittarius, incredibly expansive, ruled by the planet Jupiter. It's not only a full moon in Sagittarius, which is ruled by the planet Jupiter, it's happening on a Thursday, which is also ruled by the planet Jupiter. So it's a double whammy of expansive energy. Okay, so whatever seeds we've been planting are the energy is ripe for a huge burst in growth, and the ideas that you have that might be a little idea can be taken into something big. And what I like to do at times like this is I like to make sure there's nothing standing in the way of that. Okay, so I'm glad you guys want to know that too. Is there anything standing in the way? What can we call in to make sure that we are ready for this abundance? What can we focus on to make sure that we are ready to receive all of this prosperity, all of this expansion? For those of us who are planning to travel or move around that time, what can we do to prepare for that? As a collective spirit, we are transitioning from one place to the next. What can we do? Make sure we're ready for that. Taking a moment to call in our guides, guardians, angels, ancestors, demons, spirits, all of those powerful beings that walk with us and come to us and call, asking for them to deliver a message for the collective to help us to prepare for this powerful full moon in Sagittarius. What do we need to do, Spirit? What do we need to prepare? Okay, while I was shuffling, I was told to pull 4 cards, one for each of the zodiac elements: earth, air, fire, and water. It's so crazy because it's perfect. Can y'all see this? I don't know if y'all can see that. I don't think so. Let me hold it up. Beautiful symmetry here. Let me see if I can get it all together. When I'm pulling cards, oftentimes it is just the way the cards look when they come out that tell me a lot about whether or not we're on the right path. So I don't know if you see that beautiful balance of the green on the outside to the blue on the middle. Something like this tells me right away that we are looking at messages that are going to be well received and understood. There's a beautiful symmetry. We're all experiencing the same full moon, but we're experiencing it a little differently. So, starting off with the earth signs, we have the goddess of beauty. You are a wondrous being of light. There is nothing to change or fix. So, earth signs is going to be really important for you as you prepare for the beauty, the abundance, the expansion of this full moon, to really understand the beauty that you possess and that you radiate. I feel like some of you have been working on physical transformations with all these butterflies here. a creature of transformation. And Spirit is saying the transformation is done. You're good. You don't need to fix anything. So if you're telling yourself, I need to work on this before I'm able to become famous, before I make that YouTube channel, I've got to, pluck my eyebrows. I got to put makeup on before I go do this. I got to lose weight before I do this. Spirit is saying, absolutely not. That's not the case at all, and your focus on that could be distracting you from receiving all of the opportunities that come your way. I feel like some of you might get opportunities in the next couple of weeks that you want to put off or even say no to because you're afraid that you don't look like, or that you don't compare or can't compete with others that are like you. Some of you might actually have very physical pursuits. You might be in pageants, weightlifters, you might be performance artists of some kind, dancers, singers, etc., where you have to put yourself in a public light and you feel like you're not quite there yet. And Spirit is saying to embrace the goddess of beauty. You are already absolutely everything you need to be in order to shine in these positions. There's nothing wrong with wanting to always be, improving oneself, but you need to understand that there is nothing that you need to change or fix about yourself in order to do what it is you are trying to do. I do feel like some of you are considering plastic surgery of some kind. They might be small, minor procedures like tattooing your eyebrows or getting Botox or little nip tucks, little things like that. And I don't judge you for that at all, and neither does Spirit. But the message here is just that that is not what is needed in order for you to embrace the next chapter of your life. It's not what's needed in order for you to do well with the opportunities that are coming your way. There is nothing to change or fix. Okay. So try not to see what you consider your flaws as flaws, or as like mistakes or problems. Okay. Okay, earth signs. You're good. You're beautiful. Embrace your beauty as you are. I also feel like some of you have some out of the ordinary character traits, like how I have a gap, I have a mole, and stuff like that. You might have something like that as well. Something that you might even consider like a dysformity or a deformity or something like that. That's probably what people are going to love about you the most. It does not need fixing. Okay. All right, earth signs. Your tattoo is a butterfly? Yes. I have butterflies too back here. I love that. I love that. That's, I tell people all the time that when they get a tarot reading with me, it's going to be very boring. And I think a tarot reading with any reader should be very boring, because your spirits, guides, guardians, they're not with me and they're not with my cards. They've already been trying to give you this message. It's just that they don't speak, you know, language with a vocal cords and a mouth. So they speak in signs, symbols, and frequencies. And if you don't speak that language, it can be hard to know for sure that you're receiving a message versus just your own internal thoughts. And so that is what going to a reader helps to do, to decipher those messages and make clear what is coming to you versus what are your own thoughts. So your reading from a reputable reader should be nothing but confirmations and validations of the messages you've already been receiving. If something comes out of left field from a reader, you should stop them and say, wait a minute, that doesn't sound anything like what I have been feeling. Okay. Air signs. This painting is, or this picture is so similar to a painting I did when I was young. When I was in middle school, I was stepping into my bisexuality and went through this phase where all I painted were titties. Like All I painted were breasts. I wish I still had those. I think I might have thrown them away. But yeah, that was all I painted were breasts of different kinds, like goddesses. I acted like I was goddesses and stuff, but it was just an excuse to like draw boobs. Anyway, this reminds me of a painting that I did. Air signs, your message is the goddess of earth, which does not surprise me because if there's one thing about my lovely air signs, it can be really hard for you guys to ground. Air signs are very cerebral. You're very in your head. You tend to think a lot and sometimes overthink. And your thoughts tend to kind of go with the breeze back and forth. Making up your mind, making decisions can be really difficult. So, grounding is super, super important for you guys. So, it's going to be really important that you ground over the next week or so that the ideas that come forward and the opportunities that come forward, you can feel really confident and make a choice as opposed to being in that state of like constantly trying to decide. The message behind this card is an idea connected to imagination, creativity, and nature is coming your way. So, if you have been trying to find inspiration, you've been trying to get an idea for your next project or what you're going to do next, or maybe you know there's something you want to do next, but you're just not sure exactly what, the key for you is going to be to ground yourself, get out of your head, and root yourself down into the vibration of the earth. You can do this quite literally by sitting up against a tree with your back up against it and letting the vibration of the tree pull you down into the earth. You can do this through meditation. You can do this through physical activity with your feet on the ground. I'm thinking yoga, barefoot activities, going to the beach, putting your feet down in the sand, but spend more time actively grounding yourself, getting deep within your body and being settled and still. Try not to be in that place of trying to find the answer and find the inspiration, sending your thoughts all over the place, reaching out all over the place, trying to figure out the thing to do. Instead, come into yourself, center and ground, and be still. Connect with that beautiful hum of the earth and the ideas will come to you. They are on the way. This expansive full moon is bringing in the full moon is a spotlight. It's an enlightenment. The new moon is a dark period of the moon. It is when we see the least. As the moon grows into its full expression and reflects more and more of the sun's light, it begins to illuminate things for us. So if you feel like you can't quite figure out what your next thing is, or you're looking for that spark of inspiration, stop looking. You're looking in the dark, and that's just going to make it difficult to find anything. Sit still and let the moon move into that illumination. And when it gets there, then you open your eyes, and the idea will be right there. You'll be able to see it with clarity. So try not to be too frustrated that it hasn't come to you just yet, and instead sit in stillness and wait for that illumination to occur so that what was once cloudy and unclear can be clear. Okay? Earth signs, grounding is what we need to do until the full moon. Okay? Yes, 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 yes. Loving when it resonates. Yes, you came at just the right time. Welcome, Aria. Thank you, Mother Earth, right? Thank you. Um, Someone was asking about Wicca earlier and like working with the Goetia and stuff. And really, the two spirits that Wicca centers around the most is Mother Earth and Father Sky. The idea that the natural world is divinity. And so all of the goddesses can be connected to through a connection with Mother Earth. The earth is feminine. She is a fertile womb. And All realities come through the womb. So anything that you would like to create, by connecting with her, you access that warm, wet, dark space where all things are birthed from. So all of us really would do well to be connected with the earth, but particularly for you, air signs, right now, for the next week or so, get out into nature and connect, ground, and stop looking for the idea. Let the moon reach its full illumination and it will be there. And then, oh my gosh, report back. Okay, on the 24th, come back to this live, pop in the comments, and let me know what was revealed. Okay, because I be nosy. I make all my clients come back to me with reports. Don't just leave me hanging. Fire signs. Fire signs, you're the only signs of the four that is pulling a god as opposed to a goddess. So we're already looking at a more masculine energy. Your message is the god of reflections. The god of reflections. It says the qualities you see in others are simply your own reflection. Ooh, okay. Hold up, I'm just trying to there's like several things happening like this, so I'm trying to catch them all. For some of you, fire signs, this is about collaboration. Over the next week or so, reach out and connect with people who are like-minded and like you. This might be super advantageous for you from a professional perspective. There might be some really lucrative opportunities out there for you that you have not, that the only reason why they haven't come to you is just because you haven't reached out. That's it. There are people who would love to work with you, but just don't necessarily know that you're there. So you are looking for people that are in similar industries or that are like you in some way. Reach out to them. Now would be the time to reach out. People who mirror your values or your lifestyle. There might be job opportunities here. Okay. Um, yeah, look for like-minded folks and reach out to them. When you are at work, when you are in social settings, when you are online and you're like, oh my God, that person's just like me, reach out to that person, build a relationship with them. There could be some opportunities in there. Another message that is coming through is about internal reflection. For some of you, this is really more of a message about healing. Some of you are being really triggered by certain people or groups of people that for some reason are irritating you and getting under your skin. It's important to understand that when we are triggered, it is because we are seeing something that in ourselves upsets us. A lot of times we think we're mad or annoyed by other people or groups of people, but the reality is there's something inside of us that we want to suppress, avoid, or deny is there. And we turn that distaste onto other people. But you would be better served looking within to see why it is those things really bother you and what it is about yourself that reacts so strongly to those things, because you can't control other people. You can, however, make changes in yourself. And if you know that you are not like somebody or you are not like something, then you don't feel a certain kind of way when you see them be themselves. because, it's like, oh, I'm not like that, but okay. But when there's a part of you that suspects that you might be like that, you get angry or really irritated. We're only triggered by things that we fear we exhibit. Okay, so that anger or annoyance or frustration that you feel at that person in your life or those people that you interact with, check yourself a little bit over the next week, because those very character traits within yourself might stand in the way of you really expanding beyond where you are right now. Okay. And for some of you fire signs, this is a reminder about vanity. This has nothing to do with other people. For some of you, vanity. For some of you, fire signs, there is I'm thinking about that Greek, I think it's Greek mythology or something that we learned in school, where the person was like staring into the river and seeing their reflection, um, and being so caught up in their own vanity that it was a problem. This is almost the opposite of the earth sign message, where you might be so kind of like stuck on yourself and so full of yourself that you might not see what's happening around you. So just be mindful, fire signs. Loving yourself is so wonderful. Loving yourself is so beautiful. Being pleased with yourself is absolutely fantastic. But there is a line where we can go so far in the direction of thinking everything about us is so great that we don't take advantage of opportunities to improve or to grow. And most importantly, when we do that, we often miss opportunities to learn. So some of you might be in positions where a mentor, a coach, a guide, a teacher would be good, but you have convinced yourself that you can do it by yourself because like you are just the shit. And spirit is inviting you to check that, because you might get the opportunity to learn, grow, and expand as a result of admitting to yourself that you don't know everything, that you are great, but that it does not take away from your greatness to admit that you need some guidance, basically. I feel like some of you are getting the opportunity to be taught, and you're shying away from that because you feel like, well, I can figure it out on my own. And I have definitely been there, and I'm a fire sign. Um, when I decided to get a business coach, a business credit coach, digital marketing coaches, when I started admitting that I am great, but that everybody needs a teacher, um, so many things changed for me. And I'm so, so grateful that I have invested the money, the time, that I've humbled myself and have allowed others to teach me what they know, because now I'm just smarter. I'm all I am is smarter and even more great than I was. So, as great as you are, we can all grow and benefit and learn from others. So don't miss out on the opportunity to get better because you are so consumed with how great you are. Okay, so that's 3 different messages. So pick which one of those resonates for you, fire sign. But it was a bunch coming through all at once. So try to get all of those messages in. You're welcome. Oh, really? Oh, thank you. I was going through a time. I was going through a time. I was like, what does this mean? I remember, shout out to Zenobia. I don't remember her last name, but wherever you are in the world, Zenobia. Zenobia was this girl in my church. I was like 13 and she came to my church. And everybody was like, who's this new girl, this new family in the church? And all of the girls in our choir hated on her because she was probably like 16, 17, and she was fucking gorgeous. She was like 5'9", long braids or locks. I can't remember. I think it was locks. Fucking beautiful. And of course, all the other chicks was just hating on her. And I was so in love. She was alternative. She was different. So they just hated on her. And she was a little bit weird. And she would fight. She had an attitude. People would say she had an attitude problem. She had an attitude. And so she just immediately clashed with all the girls in the choir. And I fell in love. I was like, who is this divine, interesting being? And we became friends, fast friends. And I remember going to Zenobia one day and being like in tears. And she's like, what's wrong? And I was like, I think I'm a lesbian and I'm going to go to hell. And she was like, what, walk me through it. Well, why do you think this? And I was like, because I like this girl in my middle school named Natalie. I'm in love with her and I love titties and I'm a lesbian now. And she was like, but don't you like Lionel? Or don't you like, who did I like at the time? Some little boy in the church. But don't you like Eddie Lopez? But don't you like Eddie? And I was like, I do. And she's like, well, do you think Eddie's cute? I'm like, I think he's mad cute. And she's like, okay, well, then you're not a lesbian, you're bisexual. And I lived in such a strict conservative household that never talked about these topics and went to a Christian middle school that never talked about these topics. So I know this is going to sound crazy, y'all. I legitimately did not know at the age of 13 that there was such a thing as a bisexual. I knew that there were gay people and that the girl version was lesbians and they were all going to hell. That's what I knew. And I was freaking out. And she was like, well, you're bisexual. And I was like, really? She's like, yeah, you can like both. And if you are, then you're not lesbian. You're not straight. You're in the middle. You're bisexual. And I was like, get out of town. And I was like, am I still going to hell though? And she was like, meh. I was like, okay, that's fine. I'll figure the rest of it out. But it was good to like learn that or what have you. Anyway, shout out to Zenobia. That girl saved my life because I make fun and it's like light now, but like this was literally like a really deeply disturbing, upsetting, confusing thing for me at that time in my life. And she helped me understand that I was not a lesbian. And I appreciate her for that. Okay. Water. Water. You have the goddess of oneness. Someone you love is thinking fondly of you at this moment. And what's coming through with this is a feeling of separation. Water signs, I feel like you are deeply, deeply missing someone or someone's in your life. You feel very disconnected from either an individual or a group, maybe even like your family or a friend group. And because you feel disconnected and because you feel lonely, I think you're really struggling to feel supported and whole. You're struggling to feel supported and struggling to feel whole. You feel disconnected and like you're not your complete self because you're missing like a part of you. And it's important to know that whatever part of you it is that you feel is missing is thinking about you too. And they want to reconnect with you. So for you over this next week, as we get ready for this full moon, I think it would be important for you to try to reconnect with those people, places, spaces that you have kind of fallen out of oneness with. Don't be afraid. Okay. They also would like to reconnect with you and are probably just as afraid, just as hesitant as you are, just as uncertain about how you feel about them. So somebody's got to make the first move, and it may just need to be you. All right. So reach out, because they're open to reconnect, and would love that. What happens after you reconnect, I think things are going to speed up and really expand. This Jupiterian expansive energy is like making me feel like this could be so much bigger. It could be something so much bigger. So there's a lot of energy to really make it into something really huge. So don't be afraid to reconnect, because all of those visions that you have of like, oh, what it could be really truly is what it could be. So don't let being stubborn, don't let being wanting to be right, don't let wanting the other person or group to come to you, don't let your self-righteousness of wanting them to like admit that they're wrong or apologize or whatever, don't let any of that stuff get in the way of what could be a really powerful union. Reconnect. Okay, reconnect. Um, and you don't have to lower yourself. You don't have to like take responsibility for things that you don't genuinely feel like are your fault. You don't have to pretend anything. You are loved and missed enough by this other party or this other group that you don't have to come back like bowing your heads, like, oh, I'm so sorry, come take me back. No, I think you can walk in and say, listen, I still stand 10 toes down on how I feel. But the truth of the matter is, I don't feel complete without you. I don't feel right without you. I want to be a part of this group. I want to be a part of this relationship. I want to be a part of this partnership. I want us to try to work it out. And the energy is right for that openness and honesty to really play in your favor and create exactly the type of environment that that you have envisioned all along. Okay. So reconnect over this next week or so to the people, the groups, the situations that really feel like they complete you. Okay, because they want you to be a part of whatever it is, as well. Yes, the I'll leave this up on YouTube. The replay will be available. Thank you. That was just this was water. So we're just wrapping it up for the water signs. All right, y'all. Those are the messages for earth, air, fire, and water. Take a moment to thank and honor our guides, guardians, angels, demons, ancestors, spirits, all of those powerful vibrations that walk with us and come to us when called. Thank you for reiterating these messages for each of the elemental signs so that we can prepare for this abundant, bountiful, expansive, juicy full moon in Sagittarius coming up next week. Thank you. And may each and every person who receives this message go off into this evening with lots of love and light. As I will, so mote it be. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for being the first reading with this deck, for helping me to get to know it. I like it. I think this deck is gonna be sticking around for those ancestral readings that I give. So keep an eye out for that. If you ever want to get a private reading with me, there should be a link in the description of this video for accessing my readings and services. I already talked to y'all at the beginning why I don't do readings for none of y'all about your dusty boyfriends. So don't come to me with that. I'm just not interested. But for anything else, there are 4 styles of reading available. General readings, where we can talk about anything except for the dusties. 6-month projections, where we can look at what you can expect to happen in the next 6 months for a certain area of your life. Spirit guide readings, where I help channel a particular spirit guide so that you can get to know them. I feel like every witch should be able to identify at least one ancestor and one spirit guide that they can call on and know when they are receiving a message from them. And a spiritual gift life path reading, which is where we will calculate your life path number and pull cards to determine what your spiritual gifts are and what you're supposed to be doing with them in this lifetime. And maybe coming soon, a 5th style of reading, this ancestral channeling reading. But we'll see about that. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate y'all. Yay. I'm happy you found me too. Thanks for hanging out. I know who all the late night owls are. It's 4 in the morning, y'all. All right. I'm going to get out of here. Try not to have any more Teddy Graham cereal. I flossed tonight. Very proud. Yes. I know you can't believe it because I have like 10 teeth in my mouth and they're all like 6 inches apart, but I floss regularly. And because I flossed and brushed my teeth before I got in bed, I feel like I'm not going to have a late night snack just because I don't feel like doing all that all over again. So I'm going to be good tonight. Drink some more water, mind my business, and go to bed. That's what I think I'm going to do. All right. Thank y'all for hanging out. It has been fantastic. I appreciate you. If you want to take part in my monthly high tea lives, which are very similar to this, then definitely join the coven so you don't miss out. This month we are talking about dark spirits, the spirits of the death, the spirits of crossroads, the dark divine feminine energies. And we will have a special guest, my homegirl Tasha Crawford from the UK, who is a devotee of Lilith, will be talking to us and answering our questions about how to connect with those spirits. And we do that every month around the full moon. So the coven is a really cool place. We have a book club. We meet every month. This month we're reading American Brujeria, learning about Mexican American magic. We have a support group for witches of color. We have monthly metaphysical talks led by Shop Witch Alexis, who is an energy healer, astrologer, expert. So we have a lot of cool things going on in the coven. So I hope to see some of y'all in there and see some of y'all at my next high tea. It's breakfast, right? I know. I might as well go and make me some eggs or something. How do you join the coven? There should be a link in the description of this video. But you can also go to bronxwitch.com, my website, and click on the menu and go to the online portal. The online portal is where you will find all of our virtual classes. We have over 30 virtual classes on herbalism, crystal healing, candle magic, meditation, taught by me and a bunch of other very experienced witches like Madame Pamita, Melissa Madara, Maria Menes, a whole bunch of the shop witches, spiritual bath class, bunch of great stuff in there. But in addition to our classes, which are available individually, we have a monthly membership space called the Coven Community. And that's where you'll find all of the exclusive lives and the discussion feed and about 119 other witches to connect with. It's a great space. So link in bio for all the stuffs, or link in the description for all the stuffs. All right, y'all. I'm glad I did this. I almost didn't come live. I was going to come live last night, but then I got caught up talking to my sister and we were gossiping on the phone. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to go to bed now. But yeah. All right, y'all. It's been fun as always. Blessed be. See y'all next time. Bye.